Just I guess walk us through being promoted to offensive coordinator, and I guess what that moment meant for you.
Yeah, really grateful for the opportunity. Coach Cho believed in me, something I've been working for 11 years now in this business, and grateful for the opportunity to do it for sure. And feel like I'm ready to go and lead the group. So it's been good so far.
Well, last year was a unique situation, so you got to kind of help run the offense. I guess how much did that help as you get ready for this season?
Yeah. I think last year it was a unique situation with what we had to work through on offense, but surrounded by really good people, and our quarterback group was great for me to coach them. I mean, it was coming to work every day was truly fun. The season didn't go how we wanted, but those guys were trying to get better every day, and so always just feel like when you coach that position, you're going to be pretty influential in what goes on in the offense. So just stepping into it doesn't feel a whole lot different what I'm doing compared to last year, but it's certainly a step in the right direction.
Do you envision like a lot of changes, or putting your imprint on it might look a little bit different?
Yeah. There's some things that we'll do differently. Things we'll add, things we'll kind of delete, things we'll just do differently. But I think the good part is you get to keep the same really foundation of what these guys went through for a year. Okay, so it's not a starting over point for them, but we get to expand on that and develop certain areas of our offense differently.
What are your key goals for accomplishing during the 15 spring practices?
Yeah, the number one thing is just establish an identity on offense of what we do, running stuff that our guys can get a lot of reps in, and be confident in how they run it, and not try to install too much. There's a balancing act there probably. But play hard, play fast, play physical, and really see the identity of this offense, take off the way that myself and Coach Cho and our offensive staff wants it to.
What do you want that identity to be? I mean, Coach Cho's talked a lot about establishing the run since he really got this job.
Yeah, sure, that's a huge part of it. That's probably the starting point for most offenses. I think the plays, you can go a lot of different ways, and those will change and be somewhat game plan specific when you get in the fall. But just getting good at our base stuff, won't get into too much specifics, but I'm really more concerned about the way we do what we're doing, right? So the way we run the ball, the way we can attack vertically downfield, the efficiency in the pass game, that's really where the focus is. More so that than really like the X's and O's, the plays of it. It's just getting good at our base schemes. I think in spring ball, that's the big thing is, you're not game planning for a team. So you just want to get good at what you're running first.
What's it felt like to be able to call the plays?
It's been great. I mean, 2 days into it. But we've evolved this thing a little bit differently. And, we put a good plan together, I think, install-wise for the spring. And our guys are executing it pretty well after the first two. So, it's a little different, but it's not like, foreign territory for me. But it's, you're the guy talking in the mic instead of, hearing it is really the only difference.
You guys obviously coached Brendan up, and he opted to transfer. I mean, with Chubba and AJ battling for the position, I guess what do you like about both of them, and what do you need from them this season?
Oh, man, they're just the biggest thing is they're just great young men. Like, they are A-plus guys to be around. Their teammates feel that way. The coaching staff feels that way. They both have their own skill set, what they do, exceptionally well. But it's just, again, just working with them every day is it brings a lot of joy to you as a coach when you have guys like that are you spend a lot of time with them, right, in the film room, out at the practice field, and we're working through a lot of different things. But they're both great leaders. They work hard. They're great students. Like, it's really all you can ask for from a quarterback. Yeah.
When you look at the playmakers, you obviously lost your top two wideouts, your top running backs not on the spring roster. I guess, who do you envision kind of stepping into those roles? Who do you guys need to really emerge?
Right. Yeah. The good part is, as far as the skill positions and guys that are back last year, Marcus Bellon did some really nice things for us last year. Jace Henry was a really good player for us before he got hurt against Minnesota. So those are two guys that are back that played really big roles for us last year. And then, we've got some new guys that are really, it's been fun to watch them. They're really some dynamic playmakers. I think Coach Price did a really good job getting some new skill guys in here too that can help us. Jordan Brown, Dakota Thomas, at tight end Jet Carpenter, Coach Verge, great to get Jet on board. Herschel Turner, the running back, is popped a little bit the first couple of days, and you can see this guy's going to be a good player for us. And then, I'm really also excited about the emergence of some guys that have maybe didn't have huge roles last year, but they're showing more through winter workouts and through the first 2 practices. Marshawn Brown, Nate Burleson. I'm excited about the development of those guys. Yeah.
Any advice from your dad as you take on this role?
Yeah, there's a lot of advice. He's great. I mean, just having a guy that, I can just pick up the phone and talk through things with has been awesome for me. The longer I've coached, the more I've appreciated that relationship, because when you're growing up, that's just normal for you. You don't know that that's any different because it's just your dad. But he's been great. He's done it a long time, and he really helps. I think when I talk with him or see him, he helps kind of just bring things back to what's important, what's the main thing that you're trying to do as a coordinator or as any coach. But what are you trying to get good at? What are you emphasizing as a coach? Those are things that we talk about a lot, and so certainly love being able to call pops and talk to that stuff.
When did you first want to become a coordinator? When was that a goal for you?
I mean, I feel like at some point, it was always a goal. Even when I started just GAing, I was like, this is, the natural progression. I played quarterback, obviously. So at that position, you feel like you have a hand in what's going on, right, with the plays. And then as my career just developed, thought it'd be something I'd, be good at. And again, always kind of being in that quarterback centric. I've coached a couple different positions, but anytime you're with the quarterbacks, you see it through that lens. And it's just always been a career goal for me for sure.
I guess kind of like the soft start of the season. I know the roster may change after spring camp, but what most excites you about 2025 in Nevada football?
I just like this locker room, man. I really do. I just like the guys that are in it. I think the guys that are still here, and I think the guys that we've added, we added the right guys. And part of that is, your talent level, your skill level, but also just your character, right? How you approach the work every day, how you approach practice, meetings, how you interact with your teammates or coaches. Our guys, man, I'm really excited about just the character and the locker room that we have right now.
Coach Mastro has a long legacy here and now back on the field. I mean, how helpful is that to have a guy like that?
He's been great. I mean, he's one of my mentors in this business. My last year playing at WSU, he got hired as a running back coach, and then we were together at Oregon for 4 years. And he's just, we've spent a lot of time together. We've coached together for a long time, won a lot of games together, and we speak the same language, and we've been through those, that grind of a season together for years. And so you guys know this, I don't have to tell you, but he's a tremendous resource and mind in terms of offensive football. Also, I just think the way he coaches the running backs, he's just the best I've been around. And that's, at all my stops, we've always had running backs that produced. He coaches them, he's tough on them. He demands a lot out of them, but they respect the heck out of him because they know, his coaching pedigree is the real deal.
Got a couple stars back on the offensive line, but also lost a couple to the portal. I guess, where is that position right now?
Yeah, I think, that's part of the game today. You're going to lose guys, and those guys had some opportunities to go and do some things elsewhere. So, you wish them the best. But, we've got a core group of guys, Madrigal, Grabowski. They played a lot for us last year. Also, I think some of the new guys that we've brought in, Hadeen Diaby, Jack Foster, Dylan Lopez has caught my eye a little bit early. Even Ethan Lowell, who's a young center. I know this. They got a great coach. Coach Army's a great coach. Again, same thing. He's tough on them. Those guys are just getting better every day. And I think the key is giving them enough reps at stuff that they can get good at it schematically. And again, it goes back to the way that we're doing it, right? The mentality that they approach the play with, the day with, those type of things that's really what you want to see out of spring ball from those guys. And they've been great so far.
What do you think makes for a good offensive coordinator, being around so many during your career?
I've been around a lot of good ones. Organization is a good part of it. It's a really good starting point. Joe Moorhead taught me that. There's obviously, there's play design. There's play calling, obviously, is a huge part of it. But I think a lot of that gets really what you do through the week of preparation during the season is important. And then what you decide to do and not do is sometimes what you don't do is just as important too, especially this time of year. Again, it goes back to trying to get good at some things. So I think those are some big deals. Being somebody that can lead the room, motivate the room, provide a clear message, I think is important. And I've been around, like I said, Moorhead, Marcus Arroyo, been around some really good ones there, and trying to pick and choose little things I learned along the way from those guys.
Walk us through your winter. I think you were briefly in the portal and then came back here to Nevada.
Yeah, my winter was crazy. Finished up the season, was trying to really figure out what I wanted to do, whether if I was going to keep playing football or hit the portal or try to find another spot. So I talked to Choate. I told him I was going to hit the portal, just see my options, and then if I didn't like anything, I was just going to probably be done. And then next thing you know, I got home. That night I got home, Coach Choate called me back and told me he'd like for me to come back. And I said, yes, sir, I'll come back. Because, I already knew everyone. I was comfortable with the system and everything. So I was like, I'll come back and be with the boys. So
the consideration to maybe quit, is that just like the injuries and what you've had to deal with during your career?
Yeah, I was like, man, I'm about to be going into my 6th year. I was like, for me, it's been a long journey. Like, I'm talking so long. And I was like, I'm ready to like move on. And then Choate called me back and I was like, all right, I'm back. And I got excited again. I was like, I got one more year, you know what I'm saying? So it's already March, 9 more months. This is it. So I'm finally healthy. It's the healthiest I've been. So I'm like super excited to just be able to have a full spring, full fall camp. Last year, I barely did spring because I had that double groin surgery, and then I missed all the fall camp, first 4 weeks of the season. So that's why I was like sort of fed up. I was like, man, it's done. And then now I got that hope back. So
you have a different appreciation in the field now, just knowing that, is there more gratefulness for the game? Almost kind of
for sure. Yeah, I'm so grateful to just be out there, playing football. Because like I said, I've played football in my career, but I miss either a full spring or a full fall camp. I've never done both together. So that's why I'm super pumped up, super excited to keep learning. So I'm ready for that. So
the shoulder injury you were dealing with, that never required like surgery or anything?
No, yeah. So I strained my lat and my throwing arm. Of course, it was the first fall camp practice, and then I was shut down for 8 weeks. So, but yeah, that's all good. I'm feeling great. So.
I guess what have you tried to do to get ready for a full healthy season as you battle for this starting job? I know that's been kind of the biggest bugaboo for you.
Really just staying on my P's and Q's with everything. Starting for me, stretching. I've been stretching a lot, making sure I'm flexible, and digging in the playbook. We're adding some new stuff here and there, studying that, getting just really preparation all around with how I'm feeling physically and mentally. So,
how does this season feel different maybe from last year, your first year in Nevada?
Man, yeah. So, Joe, a lot of things are different. There's a ton of new guys. You guys probably know better than me. There's like 30 or 40 new guys. Something crazy. So, new team, new guys. Everyone's got great attitudes. We're all, like the offensive side of the ball, we feel like we're super tight. Off-season workouts, we had a great 5 to 6 weeks of working out together. And I feel like we're so far ahead compared to where we were last year. And we have a lot of veterans too. There's a lot of 6th-year guys, 5th-year guys. So, it's just this year's been night and day difference.
New offense coordinator too. I know Coach Gilbertson was super involved last year and coached your quarterbacks, but what have you liked about him stepping into that role? What do you expect from the offense?
Yeah, Coach Gilby's been doing great. We're adding some tweaks here and there in the offense, and I think it's been very well. We've had 2 practices, but the way we've been operating, the way he's been calling plays, and he's really been taking command. Him and Coach Wade. So we're super excited for Gilby to take the reins, and we trust him, and we're super excited for him. So
you feel like you really haven't been able to show the kind of player you are in college because of the moves and the injuries and stuff like that?
Yeah, I was talking to I forget who I was talking to. This is really the healthiest I've been since like 2019, since my senior year of high school. But yeah, I feel like I haven't really been able to show anything. It's here, glimpses here and there. I'll start a game here, and then I won't start, and then I'll start a game there, and then play. So I'm excited, to compete with AJ and Griggs and all the other guys, and see whoever wins the starting job and go from there. So
leadership's always a big deal for a quarterback as well. I guess how would you describe your leadership style, and what are you trying to bring to the offense just in terms of your vocalness and making sure the offense is good?
Yeah, so this is my 6th year, so I'm comfortable. I'm like, all right, I need to own my mistakes and be there for the guys, leading them at practice, getting them going, not being if the quarterback, it starts with the quarterback. Everything you do is in the huddle, talking to the guys, saying the play, urgently. So just doing those little things helps. And then obviously with my actions and my words and how I'm saying things and doing things, other guys are watching. So
How long was it from when you had the conversation with Choate here until the phone call at home?
So yeah, I went home. I'm pulling down my snowboard out of the attic, actually, literally, because I was like, I'm going snowboarding because I love snowboarding. It's been like 5 or 6 years. Pulling it down out of the attic. Literally an hour later, Choate calls me. He's like, "Hey, would you think about coming back?" I said, "You got to be kidding." I said, let me eat family with my dinner, and I'll let you know. So I'm eating family with my dinner, and the next eating dinner with my family, and next thing you know, I look at my phone. Choate's calling me back again. So then I answered. I said, "Let me sleep on it." So the night I got home, or the day I got home, he called me, and then the next morning called him back and told him coming back. So
Didn't get to go snowboarding?
no, I did not. Once I told Joe, I was like, football. If I'm playing football, I'm not going snowboarding. So
That was in like the Phoenix area?
yeah,
Is there
so
a place
they're
to
like
snowboard
4
there?
4 hours north, a place up
Like
there.
past that.
Yeah, a little past that, Sunrise. So.
In terms of the personnel, in terms of the skill players, obviously you lost a couple of really good wide receivers and running backs. Who's kind of standing out to you? Who do you guys need to step up on the offense?
Yeah, so receiver-wise, I mean, we got everyone coming back. We added Dakota and Jordan Brown, so we've added those two guys from the portal. They've looked great. The guys that we had last year, they also look great. Everyone, like I said, like the playbook, everyone knows it now. It's not like it's learning something new. So it's really repetitive. So, I mean, it's great for them to get out there and play fast. So, like, yesterday, our first practice, even today, like, guys are lining up quick, running the right routes, right depth. So, obviously, there's a lot more stuff we could work on and fix. But for the most part, it's been looking really good.
What's the biggest thing you want to get out of spring to know that you're ready for the season?
Really, just keep on getting reps. Like I told Choate, if I come back and I'm just getting reps for me, obviously I'm an older guy, but I've missed a lot of football. So getting reps is huge. Reading the defenses and just playing at that high speed all the time consistently and being successful in that. So yeah, just getting reps and doing it with the guys that we're going to be playing with in the season.
With your last year finally here, what do you want to get out of this season to feel like you're fulfilled from your college experience?
Last year, I mean, I'm ready to go out with a bang, win a bowl game, beat UNLV. So we're ready. So this is it. So I'm excited for that.
Brother sounds like he's going through contract negotiations. Do you have something on the wish list if he gets paid what he wants?
So my brother, I mean, honestly, it's funny. I was just with him this past weekend at the wedding, and when it comes to me and my brother, like, I don't really talk money with him. I'm just glad we're hanging out and getting that brother time, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I see some stuff on social media and whatnot, but, I mean, it is what it is. So, but I'm super happy for him, and hopefully they get something worked out.
How excited was he when you said you were going to play one more year?
He was pumped, yeah, because he was like, I'm going to support you no matter what you do. He's like, but then I told him I was going back. He goes, "Dude, let's go." He was all excited. And I'm close to him still again. And, like, we golfed 2 weeks ago up at in Winchester. So we were up there together. So it's just nice being close to him and being able to have family close.
So you're number 4, one of the veterans on the team now. I mean, is there a different mentality or feeling coming into this spring?
Definitely. I feel like this offseason I really focused on being more of a leader. I feel like I've always been someone who leads by example, but just being more vocal this year, I think that's something that I have to do being year 4, having a lot of new guys come in. So being a much more vocal leader this offseason.
Not a lot of guys who like to stick around with programs if they don't get that immediate starting job. I guess what's kept you at Nevada and wanting to, stay here and push for this position?
Yeah, for sure. I think, when Choate came in, something that stuck with me is he talks about how if you, stay in it and you make the long run, like, you get what you deserve. And so I think that's something that's really stayed true to me. And, I just love that thought process, and I really do believe in it. I think if you put in the time and you stay true to what you do and you make the long run, in the end, you're going to get what you deserve.
What do you think it's going to take to win the starting job?
I just think it's going to take great decision-making. I think it's going to take confidence, the ability to be able to lead my teammates around me, be a great leader, be a great teammate, and just decision-making on time and accurate.
What are the biggest things you want to be able to prove or show in spring before you get to the summer workouts and then obviously fall camp?
For sure. I think for me, just being on time, I think a big thing for me this offseason was my footwork. Being on time, being accurate, and being able to anticipate throws and, just IDing coverage, stuff like that.
new offensive coordinator. You guys are obviously familiar with Coach Gilbertson, but I guess what do you liked about maybe that change and how the offense could look a little different?
For sure. I think he's been great. You know, we have a lot of familiarity with Coach Gilbertson. He was our quarterback coach last year, so we had meetings with him every day. And, you know, he's a great person, great coach, and we're really excited for him to be calling plays.
You've got some tastes of playing the last couple of years, but maybe not quite as much as you want. I guess what have you taken from those experiences, getting out there and just kind of seeing what FBS football feels like?
For sure. You know, I think, like you said, it's been experience for me, and I think that's the only way to get better at the quarterback position is by experience, and especially game time experience. So I feel like last year, that Hawaii game especially, I got a good amount of reps, and you know, just being able to, it's a different speed going up in practice compared to going up in the game. So you know, just taking that experience in and using it this off season or come season.
How do you feel like you've grown as a person and as a player during your Nevada tenure?
I feel like where I've grown the most is separating my football life and my personal life. I think I've also gotten a lot closer in my faith this past year, and so I think those two things have really helped me just, you know, be able to perform my best on the field and then also off the field, be myself as well.
Obviously, there's a quarterback battle with Brendan gone. You know, how do you approach that? Obviously, you want to be friendly with your teammates, but you also want to win this job. I guess how has that balance kind of played out?
Absolutely. You know, I know a lot of these quarterbacks that known him for the last 2 years now. We got Carter Jones that just came in. He's a great kid. But I think it's just a good balance. When we're on the field, we're competing. We're still helping each other out, you know that. But off the field, like I said, separating your football life and your personal life, those are two different things. We're all good buddies off the field. So being able to separate those two things, and I feel like our quarterback room does a really good job of that.
I know during your time here, you guys haven't had the win total you guys want. I guess how close do you feel to like that breakthrough coming for Nevada football?
I feel like it's really close. I feel like the culture we got going right now is something we haven't had in a while. I think this is a really tight-knit group, and you know, I just think the way, even though it's only been 2 practices, the way we're operating, especially, you know, for me as on the offensive side of the ball, I think we're operating at a high level, and you know, I just think guys are really committed to what Coach Choate's trying to build here, and it's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, Coach seems like he's gone after more like blue-collar guys, grateful to have the opportunity to play at this level, rather than like questioning why don't we have this, that, and this. I guess how would you describe what you see in the locker room in terms of that bond?
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, Coach has brought in a lot of guys who have a chip on their shoulder, and you know, a lot of guys on this team already had that. So I feel like this group is really close. They can relate to each other, and you know, we're just playing for each other, and you know, we're just tight-knit group. And the tighter you are as a team, especially off the field, I mean, the better you're going to play and the harder you're going to want to play for one another.
Top wide receiver coming back just in terms of productivity is Marcus Bellon. I guess how much did he surprise you last year? I think people were calling him Mason at this point last year.
Yeah.
And like, you know, what did you see from him? What do you see as maybe his potential in this year?
I mean, last year he got in during the summer, and I mean, the first summer workout we had, all the quarterbacks were like, he's the guy. So, you know, we expected that come season. You know, he showed out, and you know, we're expecting big things from him again. And you know, that's my golf partner. Me, him, and Chubba, we're always out there. So the guy's actually an even better golfer than he is a football player. So it's impressive.
I was gonna say, like, how are the rankings in the golf? Like,
yeah, Marcus is definitely a guy we've got to catch. So he's up there.
You guys like one course in particular you like to play, or you move around?
We move around a good amount, but definitely the Duncan courses. So we've been to Toyobi a few times. We've been out to Winchester. We've been to what else we got? Wolf Run, and then we were just at Lake Ridge actually this past weekend.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So are you better in Chubba, or does he have you? You're close.
We're close, you know. Yeah, we both have our days, both don't, but yeah, it's good times.
What about the other wide receivers or running backs? I mean, obviously, you know, you guys lost some guys. Are there guys in your eyes that you see as, you know, the next kind of stars at that position?
Yeah, for sure. I think 2 younger guys that have really stepped up over these first couple of practices have been Marshawn Brown and Nate Burleson. And then, you know, we brought in a couple transfers. We brought in Dakota, and we brought in Jordan Brown. So I think we got a really good wide receiver core, and then running backs, we brought in a whole bunch of guys. So I'm excited for both rooms for sure.
AJ was saying you're the best golfer between you, him, and Chubba, I guess. How does that play out? How many strokes do you need to give them?
I would say me and AJ are very even. He likes to not give himself credit, but then you'll be playing with him, and he's 4 under through the first 6 holes. And it's like, okay, not 4 under, but like 3 under. And it's like, okay. you're not getting any strokes on this guy. But then there's also times where we'll shoot in the 90s, so it kind of just varies on the day.
Tell us about that last catch then in practice.
Quarterback threw a great ball in the back end zone, back corner of the end zone, and was able to come down with it. But yeah, it was a perfectly thrown ball. It was really the only spot he could have thrown it for me to catch it. So
I don't even think you were at the team at this point last year, right? You joined in the summer. So I guess how different is it, different is it coming into this season, just knowing that you can, play really high level football in the Mountain West?
It's way different. One, knowing that I'm going to be in much better shape, getting a full workout, because I came here middle of July last year, and so probably wasn't in as great a shape as I needed to be and that sort of thing. So just getting to know the guys. It was like fall camps in a week and a half. Don't really have time to get to know everyone like I would like to. So just getting to know the guys, getting to really go through the scheme and like digest the installs has been huge. And just chemistry with the quarterbacks, the other receivers, the whole team really. So it's a huge advantage.
What do you think the next step is for you as a wide receiver?
I think the next step for me as a receiver would be to continue working on my blocking. I've been trying to work on my quickness and mobility this offseason because I thought those were quickness I didn't really lack that much, but I know I could improve. Mobility I kind of lacked, so just improving that. And just trying to get better every day in all the fundamentals.
Obviously, you got a quarterback competition. I guess what do you like about Chubba and AJ and what they bring to offense?
I like them both a lot. I mean, the best game I had last season was when those two played quarterback versus Hawaii. So they like to throw it over the middle, like you mentioned. I'm great friends with both of them, so I have good chemistry, which helps a bunch. I think with either one that we go with, maybe we go with both too, I think we're going to be very well off.
You're kind of the leader of the wide receiver room, it seems like, with some of the off-season departures with graduation. I guess who are some of the younger guys that you're trying to coach up and get up to that level to be ready to play a lot this year?
I think really just all the younger guys. I mean, especially like Zedekiah, some of the incoming that just got here, trying to help them with the playbook. Because if you don't know the plays, you're not going to play fast. So I think helping them dial in on that, and then just like trying to show them good habits. Get to meetings on time, make sure you're taking notes, feel your body correctly, get rehab, get treatment, that sort of thing.
New offensive coordinator, I don't want you to give too much away, but how different do you feel like the offense might be with Coach Gilbertson running the plays?
I think he's going to have his own craft about him. That's about all I'm going to say.
Okay. Well, what excites you most for this last year here in Nevada?
What excites me the most is knowing that we can win. Last year we had so many games that we should have won, but we didn't. And just knowing that we're right there, and if we take advantage of this offseason, then we can really capitalize and hopefully win the Mountain West bowl game, potentially college football playoffs, all those sort of things. So just knowing that we were right there and that there's a few things that we can fix, be a little more disciplined, then we could be a really dangerous team.
Yeah, obviously you guys do these winter workouts early in the morning. How much was that a motivating factor, knowing how many close games you guys played in that you just fell a little bit short at?
It was a very big motivating factor, and the big emphasis was discipline. I mean, like you said, I wasn't here in the spring, but last year, but knowing this season, everyone has said the coaches are a lot more emphasizing on discipline, and just between our workouts in the summer that I participated in compared to spring, everyone's more locked in, everyone's more toned in on the details. So I would say, because that's really what killed us last year, was the discipline is why we didn't end up winning those games. And so I think since we've been dialing in on that, if we can eliminate that, we should be a really good team.
I know a lot of people in the community really enjoyed your breakout just because you are a local. I mean, do you have like a cool story from the off season or during the season where somebody recognized you or kind of came up to you and, really appreciated what you were doing as one of the local kids?
I mean, I think the coolest thing is having all my friends and family at the games, because all the way in UTEP, it's like my family can make a few of the games, but that's about it. So seeing my friends when I'm walking out through the gates before the game, and like my grandparents and my parents' friends, just seeing all them has been awesome. And then like my high school coach, some of the recruits from Truckee, showing them like you can make it, because not a lot of people really make it out of Truckee or Northern Nevada at all. But so I think just trying to prove to people you can do it and just having the support from everyone has been huge.
I saw you hit the crossbar yesterday. Was that pretty easy money for you as a former quarterback? Or
It's pretty funny, actually. On Fridays, when we played on Saturdays, or Thursdays when we played on Fridays in high school, me and one of my coaches, his name was Randy Mish, we would play the crossbar challenge because that was when I was quarterback. And so me and him would play for a Gatorade every night before a game, and we would go from the 25-yard line, and first one hit the crossbar won.
yeah,
So
you were a little bit further back than the other guys. Is that because you
Yeah.
usually from?
I think all the skills were back.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the linemen, D-linemen were on the goal line, and then big skills on the 5, and then we were on the 10. So a little easier than the 25.
What's it like in the locker room? I mean, it seems like there's a pretty good bond. I know you guys were saying the same thing last year, but, I think Coach Choate's had a year to get kind of his kind of guys in from a personality standpoint.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of great characters in our locker room. Like you said, he didn't get to recruit a lot of the guys, so now being able to almost be through a full recruiting cycle and really get to know the character of people before they're in our locker room, I think has helped a lot. Especially the transfers, they've came in and they've gelled immediately. There's been no problems. It seems like they've been here forever. So I think our locker room is great right now, and we just got to try to maintain that throughout spring ball.
How did you absorb Keaton's NFL scouting combine performance? I know you went up against him quite a bit last year.
It was awesome. Everything I expected, though. I mean, he killed it, but we all knew here that he was a star and was fast, strong, could jump, all the things that he showed in the combine. So it was great to see that, put Nevada on the map a little bit more. So that was really cool.
Best golf round ever?
Best golf round ever is a 74.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where is that at? Do you remember?
Schaefer's Mill.
Yeah, that's a good course.
Yeah.
Nice.